A very good afternoon and welcome. This is the Predator World 8-Ball Championship. It's coming to you live from San Juan, Puerto Rico. We're in the beautiful convention center here, right across from the hotels. A spectacular event. And this is day one, even though it's day 5 of all the CueSport activities that have been going on around the convention center. This has been the focus of everyone's attention, the World 8-Ball Championship. And I'm Jim White alongside a very good friend of mine, a native Puerto Rican, born in Puerto Rico, makes his home in the U.S. now, and great to have you alongside me, Tony Robles.
It's a pleasure to be here with Jim. It's such an honor to have the opportunity to do an event like this, do commentary with you, and this is going to be a spectacular match because here in Puerto Rico we pride ourselves in 8-ball. It's actually our best game.
Well, interesting because you've got a local man up against one of the living legends of the sport in Shane Van Boening. Alain ROLON and breaking, winning the lag breaking, and so the first look in for Alain. Now, what do you know about this man?
He's been the #1 player in Puerto Rico for many years now, and it's been very tough to topple him, but now we have some up-and-coming young talent. Some of the younger kids are starting to play, and I'm pretty sure this event is going to inspire them to bring their game up to the next level for the following year.
Well, speaking of young talent, Tony, we've got the World Juniors 9-Ball Championships going on around the outside tables too, and it has been nothing short of inspiring, not to mention impressive, how talented these youngsters are.
They're definitely a lot better today, Jim, than they were back in the days when I was growing up, because we didn't have YouTube back in the days. Look at this shot. Just enough to get the 11. Wow. I don't know if that's what he intended to do, but he was definitely using some body English to do so.
Well, important to get a good start, certainly. It's a race to 8, just to bring you up to speed. And it's open table after the break. If you scratch off the break, it's ball in the kitchen. Any other scratch, it's ball in hand. But this is a great opportunity for Alain right now.
Yeah, he didn't get in the 10 on the 10 like he wanted to. So now it's going to make it more difficult to get on the 8-ball because he's going to have to shoot the 9 next and shoot the 10 and probably come off the 3. So if he comes off the 3, he might not want to hit it too hard. He's better off shooting a straight shot in the 8-ball.
128 players comprising the field, 44 countries represented here, and it hasn't been played in a decade.
Very nice shot by Alain. So if he's straight enough to where he can avoid the kiss on the 3 here, Jim, he's fine. He can draw it straight back, but if he's going to nudge a 3, he doesn't want to draw it too much. He doesn't want to go towards that side or end up with an awkward angle on the 8-ball.
Look out. Oh, great shot. Avoided the side pocket. Now, just a tricky little shot on the 8 to secure the first of what he hopes will be many games.
Yeah, this is a tricky shot. Very nice.
Yeah, and that keeps the local boys happy. You can hear the crowd support that Alain's got. This is going to be inspiring for him too. And that's what Shane Van Boening is going to have to try and do, quell the crowd. But a good 8 to secure the first frame. First game there for Alain, and good start. Break and run out.
Great start. It's great to see that Alain still has it after so many years. I don't know if you're familiar with World Team Billiards in the 90s, where the PBT, the Pro Billiards Tour, started a World Team Billiards thing. So they put me on Team Puerto Rico with Alain, Frankie Hernandez, Mike LeBron, and another gentleman, Jose Robles, no relation. And we actually beat Team America, Team Canada, and Team Mexico and made it to the finals for $50,000 for first and $20,000, I think it was $20,000 for second, against Team Philippines. Well, the Team Philippines had Efren Reyes, Bustamante, Jose Perico, Rodolfo Luat, and I think Leonardo Andan. They crushed us like 9-2.
All Hall of Famers.
They crushed us like 9-2. We had no shot.
Oh, wow. No, that's a little before me. I was still playing snooker back in the early 90s. But a good story, Tony.
Very nice break there, but the 9-ball popped out of that side pocket. Not the 9-ball, the 13.
Yeah, open table for Shane Van Boening. So our first look at South Dakota kid. And he didn't play in the 10 ball, so he just got here the other day. Still getting acclimatized. It's not a long trip from America here.
It was about a 3-hour trip from me from Puerto Rico. I mean, for Florida.
Shane at 39 years of age now. Tony, he'll be an automatic induction into the Hall of Fame as soon as he hits 40. Probably be the first one on the ballot.
I kind of like him shooting the 9 ball after the 12. Assuming the 15 doesn't go. If the 15 doesn't go, shooting the 9 ball, I guess, would be ideal to move the 15 just enough so it'll go in the lower left-hand corner pocket, and you can use the 13 to get to the 15. But he has something else in mind. I'm curious to see what it is. Okay, so I guess the 15 does go.
Or
unless he's playing a combination. I guess he likes a combination better. Yeah, he likes a combination. Nothing wrong with that. So my guess is if he uses a 10 for last, he's going to probably go 2 rails and hit by that middle diamond to make sure he clears the 2. He can also use the 10 to get to the 9, but then he has to contend with those balls.
Yeah, it just depends sometimes, Tony, isn't it? It's not always a right or a wrong way. Different players are going to see shots a little differently.
Yeah. And I don't know how comfortable he feels with pushing the 8 closer to the rail and taking a longer shot on the 10. I don't mean him feeling comfortable making the ball. I mean with the angle he'll end up with. Because I don't know if he can avoid the 8 ball here. So he might just push it towards the rail and leave enough room to make the 10 ball. But what's very common in 8 ball, which a lot of the players do, is they like to take care of the ball, the run in groups. So he took care of Group A down there and left Group B, which is a 10 ball, for last. And that's kind of like a rule that we have in the game of 8 ball. Very nice. Oh, he's going to go behind the 6? Oh, wow. He didn't hit it with enough spin.
Yeah, he's going to have to jump this. And he's going to have to elevate and get that cue ball up quick. But that's an unforced error from Van Boening.
Yeah. And as most of us know, when you get to the 8, if you fail to pocket the 8, it's like the worst scenario. You have like almost 0 chance of winning.
Well, that's the most uncomfortable walk back to your chair when you know it should have been a rack that should have gone your way and you've gift wrapped it to your opponent. Everything in the open for Allen too. Doesn't have to develop anything.
No. I see the 5, 7, 3, and then he could potentially shoot the 6 on the side, the 4 and the 1, or vice versa, the 1 or the 4.
You'll see some comebacks here this week, though, because it's winter breaks. So that always, you're never out of it. If you've got a big break in this game, you're never out of it.
Especially since you're literally allowed to shoot any ball after the break. It's an open table after the break, so yeah. Hoping to see a couple of 4 or 5 packs, right?
Well, as I said, the event hasn't been played in exactly a decade, 2012. The winner back there, Chang Jung Lin, and Chang is in attendance. He's playing.
Oh, he overhit that.
Looking for a second World 8-ball crown, and along with Ralph Souquet, the only former winners that are in attendance. The Kaiser here as well.
Uh-oh. That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I'll get the pen out right now. Shane, ball in hand with the 8 in the middle. It's one unforced error from Van Boening, and now An unforced error from Alain Roland. So 1-1, your score after 2 racks, and it's Shane has to be breathing a sigh of relief there.
Yeah, he dodged a bullet there for sure. Have you played 8-ball at all, Jim?
Yeah, but more for fun than anything else, Tony. It's this is, believe it or not, all pool that I've commentated, the CueSports I've commentated in the last 30+ years, this is the first time I've done the 8-ball.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm here kind of on a learning expedition too.
It's a very strategic game, especially when the balls don't spread well. There's a lot of strategy involved.
Would you consider yourself an 8-ball?
Straight pool and 8-ball, my best game.
Best games, nice. Well,
I grew up learning 8-ball and straight pool.
Welcome to the commentary box.
I'm happy to be here. I really am. I'm excited about it. I've said this time and time again, Jim, the difference between Shane Van Boening and the rest of the world is that no one hits a ball as accurately, that head ball, better than Shane Van Boening. He lost it there a bit.
Well, that's unbelievable. Nothing finding its way to a pocket.
I know Alan is excited to be back to the table.
You know, a lot of people are, they're putting earplugs in when Shane breaks. Just a powerful break. One thing that's always impressed me about Van Boening, and I'm going to go back the early days of the U.S. Open, if there was ever a table open, he was on it practicing.
Yeah.
Nobody practiced more than him.
Yeah, that's true.
And like most things in life, you get out what you put into it. And Van Boening is deserving.
No doubt about that.
A chance for Alan to forget about that scratch in the last. Best way to do that is to knock all these in and reestablish that 1-game lead.
Yeah, I think his only problem here would be possibly the 11. I don't know if he has an angle on the 12, but if he does, I would consider drawing to the 6 or around it to play the 11, because he still has a 10 as an insurance ball. Is he gonna go between? Looks like he might go between. Yep. Did he get on the 11? He got there, Jim.
Nice control of that cue ball.
He got there. But he's going to leave the cue ball more or less where it is now after he pockets the 10. Or he can shoot the 9 next and then the 13 and use the 13 to get on the 10. Because the 10 is right next to the 8 ball, so it makes it easier to play position on the 8 ball.
Needs a bit of angle here.
Might have to force this one a bit unless he's going to follow it. That means he has to go between. No, that's good. That's very good. Not just a little mini draw shot here. Oh, nice road. Okay. That's a better shot, right, Jim?
Yeah, a little easier to control.
Yeah.
Impressive, though. Very impressive. A nice out. The crowd like it. Yeah, he's carrying the Puerto Rican flag right now. And we're going to take a short break as Alan enjoys that one, and we're going to be back with more action. Great to have you back. It's center stage here in the convention center. The World 8-Ball Championship sponsored by Predator Cues, and I'll tell you, it is a packed house. Not many empty seats around this center stage, the main table here for TV.
And it's only 12 o'clock, Jim, on a Saturday. It's going to be a lot more people coming in during the course of the day. Nice break there by Allen.
Now, how does he see the...
Well, he definitely needs to pick stripes because the one doesn't have a pocket. And it's very possible to get to the 14, 12. I don't know if the 11 goes there. But he's probably going to play position for the 13 now. He's going to leave the 9-ball for last to get on the 8. That would be the ideal shot. See, now if he were to get straight on the 14 and then end up straight on the 10 ball, he can draw back and play the 11 in the same pocket. Maybe he'll play the 10 next. So if he plays the 10 next and gets on the 14, then he'll shoot the 11 in the same pocket as the 10 and use the 11 to get on the 9 ball. Unless he's worried about running into the 11. Maybe he can't avoid the 11, Jim.
Yeah, he's shaking his head. So something about it he's not comfortable with, Tony.
Did he block the pocket, though, with a 2? Nope. 2 went in.
Well,
oh,
yeah, he's just moved the
That's
5
a
with
foul.
his finger.
That's a foul. Yeah, believe me, he's not happy with himself now. That gives Shane an opportunity to get the ball in the hand. Shane might get rid of the 1 first because the 1 is in a bad spot.
Yeah, he just flicked that 5 with his right hand, his bridge hand, just trying to get comfortable. And you're right, Tony, get rid of that 1 right away.
Yeah, the pattern here is probably going to end up 5-3. And then he has a choice here. He can use the 4, 6, and 7. That's the best way to connect the dots here with minimal cue ball movement. Or he can use the 7, 4, 6. But I like the 4, 6, 7 better. Got a little funny there. Might just shoot a stop shot. Maybe trickle forward if you can avoid the scratch. Yeah, he's good.
Even pinched a little of that pocket to keep the cue ball away from the side cushion. Yeah, one thing about it, when they're open like this, Van Boening takes a little time depositing all these. But another unforced error from Alain Rolon, and that's the reason it's 2-2. Boy, this could easily be 4-0 in Alain's favor, but
It's true.
he's got to put those negative thoughts out of his mind. Van Boening benefiting from the foul. Twice he's come to the table with cue ball in hand, Van Boening, and mopped up.
Yeah, I've done that before, Jim, where you get excited that you got on the ball that you were trying to get, and then you just throw caution to the wind or whatever. Just get careless. You get careless, and you end up hitting the ball, touching the ball, and committing a foul.
That's exactly what's going through his mind, rest assured. But the key to success, I say this just about every time I've got a microphone in front of my mouth, is you really have to live in the present. You can't change what's happened. Stay positive. I always say you need a Philippine mentality, Tony. A lot of times you see them, you don't know if they've won or lost.
It's true. You can't tell if they're winning or losing during the match, right? Oh, who's up 3-0? I don't know. You can't tell by looking at them. They're very good at that. How good did Carlo Beato play yesterday?
Did he ever? Wow.
Played like a monster.
Very appreciative to the sponsors and to the crowd afterwards too. And Beato, of course, the Puerto Rican Open 10-ball champion yesterday, crowned, and major title for him. One of many that will be the jewels in his crown when his career winds down. Great talent. And this is our 5th rack. Van Boning's going to look to take it apart.
That was better controlled there.
I mean, this is a great break. Great break. One into the side pocket, but everything is spread out.
I think the stripes are the ones to take here. With the 14 in front of the pocket, if he gets on the 14, use a 15 to navigate down here. He should be set here.
Yeah, he'll get rid of the 14 here. As you said, he's got the other one over the side pocket. And then he can get down to the business end of the table where the 8-ball is.
Mm-hmm. So looking to see if he can stop and play the 13 there, and that's a very smart shot. The reason why that is because if by some chance he doesn't get on the 13, he still has the 15 as an insurance ball. Now he'll probably shoot the 13 and then the 12 in the same pocket and use a 15 in the side to get the 10, because the 10 is more or less parallel with the 8, so it's an ideal ball to use. You can also use the 15 as a ball to get to the 8, but this pattern right here, since the 15 and the 10 on the same side, makes it easier to get on the 10.
Yeah, again, once he sees the pattern, wastes little time. And it looks like for the first time in this match, Van Boening is going to get his nose in front. 3-2 he leads. You're breaking rack number 6, but SVB. Fantastic break, laying the foundation there. And we will take another short break. Stay with us, folks. Shane Van Boening at the table. It's rack number 6, race to 8, but it's very competitive. And off air, Tony, we were talking, Shane obviously being one of the seeded players in the World 8-Ball Championship, he could have drawn somebody easier than Alan ROLON, couldn't he, in this?
Yeah, that's true. Alan is a veteran 8-ball player. As I said earlier, 8-ball is the traditional game here in Puerto Rico, so all of these players grew up playing 8-ball here on the island.
And the narrow still leads for Shane at 3-2. And this is one of the few times a player has come to the table and looks pretty scrappy, really.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he preferred to take solids, but he doesn't really have an easy shot because if the 8 doesn't go in the corner, Jim, he can always use a 3 ball to get the 8 ball out and has the 6 ball, the 7 ball as an insurance ball. We're always looking for insurance balls. That was an unfortunate miss there. And it's still an open table.
Yeah, and with that one shot, he's kind of opened things up a little bit. Whatever Shane chooses here, solids or stripes, it's he's big favorite to get out.
Well, he's looking to see if the 8 ball goes in the corner. If it doesn't, he might not. It might not be a bad shot to shoot the 12 first and get rid of the 3 out of there because he has 2 balls in the side pocket as insurance balls. But if the 8 goes in, it doesn't make sense to move him.
And pretty sure that 10 goes into the top corner too. Well, I said that. Now I'm not so sure.
I mean, he can always leave an angle on the 11 to play the 10 if it does go, or to go right in between the balls if it doesn't. He overhit that a bit. Definitely didn't want to be there. I think he was trying to end up with an angle on the 11 ball. Or just get straighter on the 9. I wonder if he wound up with an angle on the 11. Because if he has just the right angle where he can run into the 7, he's good. But if not, no, he's not. I really think the 11 is a key here to going between that 5 and that 10. Oh, is he going to go 2 rails? Oh, for a second I thought he was going to go 2 rails and try to bump the 5 out.
Well, that 10, he's got the angle now. On the 13, he's got to attack that 10 at some point. And I wouldn't leave it to the end.
I guess the 10 does go.
It must go. Boy, our overhead camera sure.
It's tricky, right? This is why I tell people sometimes. They say, well, why didn't you call this shot? And I say, well, when you looked at the angle in the overhead camera or whatever other angle, you thought it was a different angle. Because from there, it clearly looks like it doesn't go.
And from there, it clearly does.
Yeah.
Van Boening taking that rack apart and increasing the lead to 4-2 now over local favorite Alan ROLON.
And Alan, the previous rack, I believe Shane broke and ran, correct? Did he? So Alan, out of the 6 games that have been played, Alan has had an opportunity 5 out of the 6 games.
Yeah, it was Alan's miss that got Shane back to the table there. But you're right. This, I mean, 4-2 is not indicative of how play has been. A couple unforced errors from Alan. 2 fouls, really. The one hand foul and the scratch in the side pocket. Those cost him 2 racks, and those were 2 racks that he was in prime position to take.
Yes, yes.
But Tony, that's kind of the storyline in CueSports in general. I mean, you're gonna, not very often you're gonna get shut out. You're gonna get your chances. You just gotta be there.
You play competitive snooker, so you know how important it is to stay in the present, which is why I love the fact that you always make sure you talk about that every time you do commentary, because it's important for the people out there that struggle with their games to understand how important that is.
The difference between a good player and a great player is from the shoulders up.
That's right.
Straight into the side pocket from that break. And then BOENING sees these balls scatter. And you'll see his eyes darting around the table, looking for the trouble spots. And that'll help dictate his suit.
Yeah, the 13 is in a funny position. The 6 is in a funny position, but can be taken out with the 7. So he might end up going with solids here. Oh, he's going to go with the stripe. Okay. So is he trying to get on the 13 now? Is that what he was trying to do? Yep, he was. He was trying to get on the 13 now.
Yeah, you're right, because he's looking at it and
yeah,
kind of shaking his head. Need that cue ball to just run on a little further, and he'd have been perfect.
Well, that's exactly why picking the correct suit is so important, because if you're not spot on and you give up the table, it's kind of like, think of it as a battle. Every ball you get rid of is a soldier that you're killing in friendly fire if you don't get out. And then at the end of the rack, if you killed off all your soldiers, you have no balls to defend yourself with. Your opponent has 7. So even if you don't leave him a shot, he can put you behind any one of those 7 balls until he gets to the point where he has the advantage.
Well, Van BOENING once again looking to get rid of a soldier, and now he is on the 13.
Mm-hmm.
Good analogy, though, Tony. Very good analogy. And that's it's a very tactical game, 8-ball.
He can either get straight on the 15 in the corner or just play in the side and play. He has options to play the 80s side or in the corner.
Yeah, he's starting to flex his muscle a little bit now as Van BOENING 5-2 in front, and you see the dominant break. What a powerful weapon that is.
And he's not even on with his break hit. He keeps sending that cue ball back. Wait until he starts squatting it and hitting it like with no spin.
Yeah, he's been one of the big names in professional pool for a long time. And he possesses that cannon for a break, and that makes him a threat in every event he's in.
He was playing a match against Yi, a challenge match somewhere. It was actually funny. He broke playing 10 ball. I believe he made 6 balls on the break. Yi asked him if he could test his cue afterwards. He was trying to break with Shane's cue.
And the rack put together. Referee Dwayne Payne on the main table. And it's a 5-2 lead. Race to 8, remember?
See, he's not hitting the cue ball dead center. That's why he's coming up dry. He's come up dry a number of times because of it. It's like, it's strange to see because I'm not used to seeing him breaking like this. See, look at the ball spinning. He just rarely does that. Oh, he did make a ball on the break, though.
Yeah, I think the 1 was kicked into the side pocket.
Well, here, I like the 13, 12, and what's that one? The 15, and then the 14. Is that the 14? Can also shoot the 9. I guess he wants to leave those for last or come back up. Yep, that's what he decided to do. Did he get there? Came a little short. Yeah, I can see it. He was trying to get straight on that 12, so he can shoot that, the 15, the 14, come back down, shoot the combination, or just the 11 and get on the 10. But he always finds a way, doesn't he, Jim?
Yeah, talent. First time I saw Shane play was in a tournament in Western Canada in Calgary at the University of Calgary, and I remember Archer beating him hill in a match. This was a very young Shane Van Boening, and Johnny came up to me after the match. He said, "That kid's going to be a player." Prophetic words from a Hall of Famer.
See what kind of angle he has on the tee. See, he was hoping for more of an angle so he can bank the 10 off the long rail, make the combination, send the cue ball to the other side so that way he doesn't have to worry about position. He might still be able to do it.
Yeah, he played it in a way. He made sure that that 10 didn't follow the 11 in too, because he would have had no shot on the 8.
Now, question is he going to try to go between the 5 and the 6 so that the cue ball ends up between the 3 and the 6 for position? I mean, I think that's the easiest way. He's going to have to call extension.
He did just now. I was going to say that clock's winding down. 30-second shot clock, and Shane is kind of smiling. Yeah. He's tall, but reaching this doesn't look comfortable at all.
Even if he ran into the 6, he's good because it's going to slow it down enough. That's a nice shot.
Yeah, great shot considering. And another run out from Van Boening, increasing the lead 6-2 now. And that's a nice time for us to take a little break, Tony. Yeah, it's a full house here. Table number 1, the Salon Ballroom in the Convention Center. We're on the top floor of the Convention Center here in beautiful San Juan, Puerto Rico. They have rolled out the red carpet for all these top stars from around the world, and we're watching one of them right now, Shane Van Boening, the living legend that is SVB. And a dry break, a rare dry break, Tony.
Yeah, but look where the cue ball went. He's for whatever reason he's struggling to hit the ball dead square. But yet his break is so good that even when he mishits it, he makes balls on the break most of the time, right?
Well, Allen's got a chance now to try and make inroads into that deficit. 6-2 he trails. It's a race to 8. Again, just to remind you, if you're just tuning in. So Allen really, he's got an opportunity here. He's had a few. He's got to come good. $250,000 up for grabs in the Predator World 8-Ball Championships. $60,000 to the eventual winner.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
That'll buy you a few pairs of slacks if you go shopping, Tony.
Just in time for Christmas. Do some nice Christmas shopping. Oh, he's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to have to shoot the 12 here. You don't want to shoot over the 2 and then for the 15. Just needs to make sure that he manages the speed so that the 12 doesn't end up, the 11 doesn't end up becoming a problem with the 15. Very nice.
Yeah, nicely controlled. Alan finished in the last 16 of the Puerto Rican Open 10 ball too.
He's a great player. I've always loved his game. We're like brothers, him and I. We've known each other a long time. And he's a funny kid too. See, I was hoping he got a little straighter on the 11, Jim, so that he can play, just draw back a bit, play the 8 in the side. I'm hoping for his sake that he can hold it a bit. Oh, he decided to draw it back. Ooh. That was a touchy little shot, right?
I don't know if this was the intended pocket, but he'll take it.
I always say I'll take that for the U.S. Open or the World Championship anytime.
All day long. Back to 6-3. The crowd haven't left, and they're still supporting their guy. And Alan will be breaking in rack number 10. Looking to put a charge. Keep this crowd on the edge of their seats and give them a little bit more opportunity to warm their hands. Shane, yeah, he's on a beach somewhere, just chilling.
Yeah, I'm wondering, Shane seems a little frustrated. If I had to take a guess, it's because of the way he broke the balls there.
He never looks too phased, does he?
No. But you better believe when he notices that his turn at the table, he pounces there.
All right, referee just making sure that it's a nice tight rack. Wants a total displacement from the break.
You notice Alan's shirt has a coquille, which is the national symbol, the small frog that makes the noise at night that you hear. They only come out at night. They go coquille, coquille. You hear them all over the island of Puerto Rico. Yeah,
I've heard it at night. I didn't know what that sound was.
Yeah,
I thought it was a bird.
No, yeah. You told me about it. You were doing some research on it, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, someone told me they were doing some research.
I thought it was a bird. Well, now there you go.
Doesn't look like you made a ball here, Jim.
Yeah, dry break, and that picture says it all. So it turns the table right over to Shane. Well, he was hoping to make a charge, but you got to knock a ball in off the break. Again, not an easy table. That's welcoming Van Boening out of his chair.
I think he needs to shoot the 14 because the one doesn't have a pocket. His only tricky ball here is, I believe, is that the 11 next to the 6 or the 12? I can't tell from here. That's the 11. So I'm wondering if he's going to shoot the 11 after the 13, or if he's going to try to move the 7 so that the 11 can go in the lower left-hand corner pocket. I'm not sure. It looks like the 11 goes, right, Jim? Not from that angle. It looks like the 11 goes in that pocket.
Into the same pocket he just shot the, yeah. And he's actually on it if it does go. Got a chance to knock it in here. The only other option would be the 10 into the top right corner. He's having a look behind the 11. It's close, Tony. Just can never be too sure from our angles. Maybe half a pocket anyway.
Yeah.
And thanks to our cameraman there, giving us a much better look.
I mean, and I'm assuming the 9 goes in the side unless he plans on banking it, because the 12 is blocking the lower right-hand corner pocket. Is he trying to get there for the bank? I would assume he's trying to get there for the bank, unless he's going to use the 11 to get to the 9. I think he was trying to get a little straighter on the 11 so that way he can hit it more accurately.
Yeah, it doesn't have a full pocket, so this is a big shot right now. He's going to have to be very precise with this, Van Boening.
Did he draw it enough for the bank? I think he did. I mean, he can always use his 2 as a stopper.
Another look. As you said, Tony, just using the 2. Doesn't matter that 2 going in. You got the one he played.
And he definitely wants to end up with the correct angle to play the 8-ball in the lower left-hand corner pocket. Doesn't have to hit it that hard. Very nice.
And again, workmanlike from Van Boening, clinical. How he's taking these out. It looked awkward when he came to the table. Looks a lot better as he leaves it. 7-2, 7-3, pardon me, and he is on the hill. Yeah, that was Shane Van Boening in gear. Coming to the table there. Tony, that didn't look inviting at all.
It did not, but he ran one hell of a rack there. Managed it well, and like you said, the importance of staying in the present, he just took it one shot at a time. Because I know a lot of players, they'll see, oh my God, this rack is so difficult. How am I going to run? And they start panicking, and then they end up screwing up position, miss a shot, whatever.
He'll break for the last time in the match. And Allen in his chair, he's got no choice but to hope for a shot. And when you've got Van Boening breaking, it's not necessarily a worthwhile proposition, is it?
And you know what Shane's gonna do after this? Guarantee you, he's gonna go work on his break. I've seen him do it for so many years.
Needs to find an open table to do that.
Yep.
There's matches going on all around. As we said, we've got the World Junior 9-ball Championships happening, and Tony, we were spotting a couple juniors playing over on one of the outside tables. The cues are bigger than they are.
Yeah, it's so awesome to watch. It really is.
The rack number 11, a 7-3 lead.
Look at the cue ball. Look at the 8-ball, Jim. This is the reason why it's tough to make a decision as to which suit to pick, because wow, I wonder what happened there. It's a big thump.
Yeah, that was loud. I hope somebody didn't fall off their chair.
But what I was saying is the 8 is in such a bad position that I don't blame Shane for taking the 2-ball here versus the 15, because now he's going to open up the 8-ball for the latter part of the rack. Nice shot to get on the 1.
Beautiful cue ball control. The most awkward ball on the table, and this is an ominous sign for local favorite Alan ROLON here. He may not come out of his chair save to shake Shane's hand.
He can get past those balls. He's either going to play the 13 or he's going to play one of those in the side pocket. Let's see on the corner. Now he's probably going to play the 4 next. And use a 4 to come to the 5. And use a 5 for the 3, because the 3 is slightly above the 8-ball, which makes it ideal for position.
Yeah, nice and straight. Just connect the dots. And Van Boening is going to be out of the gate. And it is an 8-3 win. Shane Van Boening over Alan ROLON. He is off the mark here in San Juan. The Predator World 8-Ball Championship. Van Boening setting the stage. And Tony Robles, it was a great performance. Thoroughly enjoyed having you sat alongside me. There's going to be a lot more action coming your way, folks. Stay tuned for more 8-Ball. Thanks, Tone.